Hey, okay, so this is kind of off subject for my usual YouTube videos, but big Game of Thrones fan. I'm sitting here with another big Game of Thrones fan, and we're going to do a little recap of season 6, episode 6, because I hated it so much I can't help myself from complaining about it. So uh, I'm going to get into why I hated it. Here's my top reasons why I hated this episode. One, the Tyrell army was so wimpish, I completely did not believe it.
It's true.
I'm going to pass this off to you for your top three hates. Second top three hate. Okay, Danny is looking like her crazy grandfather to me. I don't know. She came out of the fire last week. Was that not enough? Now she has to like do the drag and the whole dragon thing. Like, can she control the dragons? Can she not control the dragon? Oh, he needs a nap, so she has to walk and get caught by the Dothraki. But she can come riding in on him now and give her speech. Okay, that's my second worst thing I hated. And the third worst thing I hated, do you remember? Oh, what was it?
Uh,
All right, I'm gonna put aside.
Sam,
Oh God, the Sam and Gilly. That's always hateful, and it was extra
Sam,
long and
Arya.
boring.
Take your
So
pick.
no, I'll come back to my third thing I hated. I can't remember. What were the top three
Well,
things you hated?
I felt like they built up like there was going to be some big conflict, be it either the Tyrells and Jamie going against the Sparrow, and then it all became diffused. And I agree that army the Tyrells had looked like what about 50 guys on horses, and
The Tyrells are supposed to have the second largest army
and where
in
was
all
Jamie's
of the
army? They
Seven
were they
Kingdoms.
weren't anywhere to be found. It was like Jamie by himself,
Right.
and then it was all diffused anyway. I kind of like the fact the king kind of is becoming his own man and thinking on his own, although he is overly influenced by the faith. Didn't like the whole Sam. I thought it was unbelievable the castle he came from.
Right.
That blows away every other castle that they've shown practically. I mean,
Definitely.
that place looked like Camelot, and the whole dinner scene was just so uncomfortable. And the fact that he didn't stand up to his father one bit, he just kept his mouth shut, his head down. He was like completely cowardice, and I don't know. I thought his character, you know, grew up a little bit with Jon Snow up
And
at
then
Castle
stole
Black.
the sword all like
Yeah,
weaselly,
yeah.
like
He said,
"Oh, I'm gonna
"We're
take."
leaving, and I'm taking the sword that's been in the family 500 years. Like, he is worthy, or I don't know. It's just too
Yeah,
much contradiction
it
and
was. Yeah, he was too. Oh,
storyline.
now I remember the third thing I hated. The whole brand thing is so
Oh yeah,
ridiculous.
are they gonna play
Where were
that
those White
forever or
Walkers?
what?
Okay, showrunners. That was like you have to give us a plausible denial that like there's a possibility that the White Walkers would have been held up, all 2,000 of the undead, while this girl is dragging this boy that's
In the
now twice
snow.
as much body weight as her through the snow. And it's like, what? A couple of them happen to get through, and then dude, whoever binging comes in and knocks. Oh, it was just so predictable, lame, short. I don't know. It's really showing through right now that our Martin is not writing these.
They
This.
threw that whole new twist in it. It was like, okay, we figured out where the White Walkers came from in the last episode, and then all of a sudden, the uncle's saying, "Oh, I survived the White Walker by the tree people or whatever they're called performing this on me," and it was like, okay, great, we got a whole new magic trick, and I didn't. I would
Just
have liked to have seen the guy just come back and say, "Oh, I've been, hiding out in the woods all these years."
I would really like to know if J.R.R. Martin wrote that because that is just bad storytelling. Oh, it's just so convenient. Here, I'll tie up everything. And by the way, I was one of the ones that I didn't become a White Walker because
Yeah.
you happened to see the Children of the Forest last episode. It was like, it's like, oh God. And what's with the like 50-minute episode?
How about Arya? We'll get into her a little.
What about her? What do you
I
got to say?
like Arya's decision not to kill that actress. That was good.
Right.
And it looks like a showdown is brewing between her and that other girl with the needles back in it. That's good. I'd like to put my money on Arya, and I hope she takes care of business and then gets back to help out her family. I think she needs to join forces back there and get out of that Bravos scene or whatever. I don't know. The Frey scene, the dad's crazy. He
Yeah.
if we didn't know already, and the two goofy sons saying they're afraid. I don't know. It was almost like their budget's been cut or something, and they can't actually show armies anymore. They have to just talk about it.
No, you're right, and also again with the
Even the Dothrakis, it
I
didn't
know.
look like thousands of guys. It looked like about 50 or 100, and I
Yeah,
don't know.
you're so right. It looks way too sparse. The armies look way too sparse. And the only thing I did like about Bran's warging was the one bit of like flash forward of the future of seeing Jon Snow fighting at Winterfell, which I think we all want to see. That's really hot. But
Yeah.
really,
His
do we?
Morgan reminds me of, in the beginning of the show, they say previously shown on Game of Thrones and goes back in the past, but a fast forward version of it when he morgues. And then they'll say at the end of the show, in, next week's episode, and then they'll have those really quick clips of what's going to happen in the future. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
almost like a tease.
We're not happy with this. We are not happy with this episode at all. Not
That-
happy.
There is a build up that stuff's going to happen in the future, but I don't know. I hope they show a real battle scene with some drama to it rather than just talk about it. With three people.
And even Tyrion, he wasn't in here this time, but like, his whole storyline's so boring. It's
I
like,
know.
I don't know. It's just like, and they're moving it along. I see that. I like Cersei's scenes. I really like Jaime's scene. At least they've got
Yeah,
guts.
that was cool when he rode the horse up the stairs.
And now he's free. Maybe.
But then
to
it
go-
was all diffused by.
Oh God, I know. Oh no. I liked Lady Olenna. She was cool. The Tyrell grandmother.
Yeah.
Even the dad was like, "What the heck's going on?" He was like himself, and he gave that weak speech. And Jamie's looking at him like, "Oh my God, you're not really going to rally the troops with this." But
It was all for naught, anyways. Nothing ever happened.
It was. Oh God, and I don't know. Bran and the whole three-eyed raven. Who cares? I mean, they haven't really made it clear. I know if you're a book reader, you probably know about the three-eyed raven, but they're certainly not making it relevant. Like why he's the answer to saving us against the White Walkers, or I don't. What do you think about that?
I think you're 100% right.
Weak. Worst episode of the season. I'm saying. Where are you putting this episode in this season?
I'd put it in the bottom third.
All right. This is Mo and Manning signing off.